Okay, so loving yourself. I love me. This has kind of for me just been like a journey of transparency and like my own kind of healing and coming to like loving myself to try to love others more. And part of that for me has been really like healing a lot of my childhood and a lot of the wounds that we all have as we grow up. It looks different for everybody, but I have my own story and my own truth of my own life. And part of this truth and this journey that I've been trying to be on lately is just really sitting with all of the pain that I have from my past, how I treat myself through that pain, how I treat others through that pain, and really truly try to heal those wounds so that I can love myself. And I think one of the biggest, most important things that I've learned in the last few years is loving yourself first and most is the most important. If we want to be loving beings and be loving and the most loving to the people in our lives, we have to love ourselves first. And I think I'm learning every single day that there are ways that I can be better at this. Through grace, through faith, through sitting down with my pain, through journaling. My own journey has brought me through to a place of really loving myself. And most recently, I had an experience with a family member whom you love, and I had to really ask myself the question: is this person's love or my seeking this person's love more important than me loving myself? Is this relationship breaking me down, or is it building me up? Is it more painful than it is healing? Is it is it a give and take of love and self-respect and mutual respect? And in asking those questions, I think that is how we truly come to recognizing relationships that are good and bad in our lives. And it doesn't mean that they always stay in a place where they're not good or healthy for us, but it means that sometimes we have to kind of let that relationship go to be able to create our own destiny, to be able to continue to move one foot forward into who we're supposed to be. And we have to recognize that intuitively we have our own guidance and our own path for our life. Intuitively, if we're listening and if we're trusting ourselves, if we're trusting our own path, if we're trusting that we're being honest with ourselves, that's the most important. And the relationships that are in your life and will come into your life will respect that we all have our own intuition. We all have our own truth and our own life to live based on that truth, because we're all unique. We all have a gift. We're all different, and that's a good thing, and that's okay. And I think that when we learn that, we can accept ourselves more, and we can move forward in relationships in a healing way, and respecting ourselves and those relationships. It's just having an open heart, respecting and loving yourself enough to move forward in a healthy way, if that makes any sense. Not closing the door to anybody, but having better boundaries. And it really all, through this experience for me, came back to myself. And it's how am I going to love myself more and accept myself, and how am I going to move forward in this relationship? And I think that is where it just comes back to you first. We're naturally loving beings. We naturally, if you are a spouse or if you're a partner, if you have a family, if you have kids, we naturally love. We love the people in our lives, but we're not going to love them as good as we can until we really truly learn how to love ourselves. And that's really what this journey for me is all about, and this transparency of these videos, and what I share is just learning how to love ourselves, to be able to love others fully. Because you are love and you are loved. Namaste.